Hello everyone, welcome to a video about an amazing Django lick, Django trick. It's a chromatic guitar thing that you can play on almost any song. Let's get into it. So maybe you're wondering about this setup. It looks a little bit different. There's this silver mic here, and that is because I'm going to change back to an older format. And the reason is that although it was really a lot of fun to make all those elaborate productions with multiple cameras and a lot of editing, it got more and more difficult to make them because it took about 3 days to produce a video, and it just made me not want to make a video anymore. So I'm changing back to an older format, also because I watched some of those videos and I thought they were very enjoyable. So it's less scripted, it's more free form. There's only one microphone, and it's an omni microphone, so it picks up sight from all sides. So it will pick up my voice, it will pick up the guitar, and it will pick up this little Bose speaker that I use for the backing tracks. So yeah, the sound won't be the same level that you were seeing in the past 2 months. There will be a little bit more echo maybe in my voice, and maybe the balance between the backing track and the guitar is not optimal. But I was checking those other videos and I thought it worked. So we're going back to this format for a while, and then who knows, maybe in about 3 months I switch back to the productions, to the elaborate productions, just because I feel like it. So for this video I want to also go back to a format that I kind of left behind, and that's a format in which I talk about a certain Django phrase that is technically very difficult to play and my strategies of playing it. And it's a phrase that you saw in the opening solo. It's a fun phrase that he plays originally in the solo of a tune called I Saw Stars, in the first recording of it, the old 1930s recording. I will link it in the description, so please listen to Django play it. I can't play it here for copyright reasons, but it's amazing the way that Django plays it, the energy and the attack. Now, it's a bit weird if you transcribe it. Something happens in the middle of the lick, the pattern turns around, and I mean, it works really well when Django plays it, but it wouldn't work if we want to practice it and then apply it to other songs, because that's the point of it. So I changed the rhythms a little bit. So on the recording it sounds almost like Django is playing 3, 4, 1. Something like that. And I changed that to 3, 4. Maybe you don't even hear a difference, but it's a different way of playing the triplets. But the way that I play it, it all fits together, it lands on the beat, and the chromatic lick at the end is also much easier to play. So we're gonna keep it like that, and it almost sounds the same. So let me play it slowly first. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. And even faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not easy to play, so let me first walk you through the way that you should approach practicing it, or the way that I approach it. So first of all, about the fingerings, I like to play it with 2 fingers, like this. So even when the third changes the distance, right? First we have a gap, now it's closed, and gap, and then the gap between the fingers stays. So I like to just play it with the same fingers and just adjust the distance. So wide, close, wide. You could of course play it with 1, 3, like this. But then you get this awkward distance here between your first and third finger, or you could even change fingers like this. So you do 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3. That's fine, but I like to just keep 1 and 2, less confusing. So the first thing you gotta work on is know when to end. Now here we end on an open string, but later on we're gonna play it in different keys, so then there's no open string. So I like to count to 4, or actually to 5, like this, 3, 4. So the moment I hit the C, and we're in the key of C, so it's easy to remember. The moment I hit the root of the main key, I start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, or 5. And the 5 is the last note. So again, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's this chromatic phrase which goes like this, 3, 4. So I like to give accents on every first note of the triplets. So we end on an upstroke at the end of the chromatic lick down. 3, 4, up, and now down. So that D, now this A, now this F, this C, 3, 4. Now these accents can go away when you play it faster, or maybe once you have it really in your fingers. But in the beginning, it's not a bad idea to really make some loud accents to keep you anchored to the beat. One more thing about the lick down, it's good to focus on the position changes and realize it's an upstroke. So up, 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 up. That's your anchor to keep the picking and the left hand synchronized. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. So where do you play this? Well, you can play it where Django plays it. He plays it, I think, on I Saw Stars. Those are rhythm changes. So I think maybe he plays it somewhere around the 7th bar of the rhythm changes. I don't remember. But the best place to play it in a regular song is to play it on a turnaround, starting on the 2-5 before the turnaround. So let's say we have a song in C. So we get the 2-5, D minor 7, G7, and then a turnaround. So this happens on a lot of songs where there's a 2-5 at the end of the song and then there's a turnaround back to the beginning. For instance, like All of Me. So if we play the second half of All of Me, we get C, E7, A7, D minor. And now we go to the last 8 bars. F, F minor, C, A7, and now we can play it. So D minor, G7, and a turnaround. So let's try that with a backing track. I have a backing track here for All of Me. I will link the backing track in the description. It's just a backing track I uploaded a while ago. So I'm gonna play it at the end of the chorus, starting on the 2-5-1, and before I will just improvise a simple solo. Sounds great, right? Very virtuosic, a little bit unexpected, but it's a great effect. Of course, you shouldn't use it every solo, but that's one possibility. Another possibility is to just play it on a regular 2-5, but then because the final chromatic lick is pretty long, you have to see if you can end on that low G. Probably you can't because the chord will change. So in All of Me, for example, if we would play it on the first 2-5-1 to C, we get 2 bars of C and it goes to E7. So I have to end on a G sharp. So let me try that. Let me play it in the first half and then I have to adjust the chromatic lick at the end. See there, I adjusted to a G sharp and it works. Now, there's lots of open strings in this lick, so you can only play it in C if you use this fingering. But you could also use it in D, for example, by shifting everything 2 frets up and then play the last chromatic phrase with 4 fingers. So then you would get, instead of playing, you would get this 3, 4. That's not that much harder. And then the complete lick would be starting on this A, you get 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm really counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because otherwise you will miss the end point. I can promise you that. So let's try that on Coquette, for example. That's in D, and then we play it on the turnaround. We can play it twice. We can play it in the first A when we have 2, 5 turnarounds, and then we could play it at the end when there's a turnaround from the end of the chorus to the beginning. So let's try on Coquette. Great stuff. Works in C, works in D, maybe even E flat. You have to start on B flat. But you know, it kind of ends there, right? E would start there, F would start there, but because you can start an octave lower because you wouldn't have enough neck. But I have a solution for that as well. Let's say you want to play it in F. Then what you do is you just skip the first bar, right? You would have a 2, 5 and F. I would suggest starting on the 4th beat of that bar. So you do, instead of starting on a high C, you would start in the middle of the pattern, starting with your first finger on a G. So you would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So you start a whole step above the root of the key that you're going to, or that you're in. So we start on a G, and then we're on F on the beat 1 of the C7, and the rest we can play as normal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. So it's the same effect, just we start a little later. So let's try that on, for example, Hansaku Rose. So I was trying it now in different places even, because Hansa Rose is basically C7 and F. So I was thinking, why not just play just starting somewhere in that A part and then see where I end up, and then it might work with the chromatic lick, it might not. It kind of worked out, right? Maybe I had to make some changes at the end, I don't remember. But taking a risk like that is also fun, and see where it ends up. And if you just pull off that lick by itself, it's already a fun thing. It's already impressive. It sounds good, even if you don't end up exactly correctly at the end. Even with the rhythms, maybe you screw up the triplets. Doesn't really matter. It's also an effect. Go listen to the original Django recording to hear that effect. Not so much the precision of the rhythms, even though it's nice if you can pull it off, of course. So I hope you liked it, because that's the topic of this video. It's this lick and trying it out in different keys, in different places. If you want to download the tab that you saw on screen today, it's as always available from my Patreon. If you join there for the €5 tier, it will be available depending on when you join, because after 2 months it will shift towards the €10 tier. And I hope you liked me going back to this old format. Let me know. If you like it, please give it a like, subscribe, ring the bell like people always say, but really you should do it because it helps my channel. And it's the only way for my channel to grow. It's if you subscribe, and because I can see that almost 70% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. It's an easy way for me to grow. For all the people that are watching my videos that are not subscribed, to subscribe. So thank you if you are doing that. Hopefully I will see you in the next video right here on YouTube, or maybe in one of the exclusive videos on my Patreon. Go check it out. Bye!